I'm not trying to stall or anything, just wanted to preface everything properly.
Bro, this is just Moist Critical.
As of today, Slick is gone. He is gone. He'll be back on Sunday to pick up his stuff, but he's gone. And he's never coming back, obviously. And, I don't think it needs to be said, but what he did is abhorrent. Like, how he treated all those girls was... As a girl myself, obviously, being through shit like that, it was just really hard to see. Sorry, I'm having a hard time talking about this. So to preface all this, before I get into, like, talking about what I experienced...
Do they live in the same house?
And, what I now understand... Obviously, unconsensual touch,
because like, think about that, dude. You fucking, you realize, like, as a female content creator,
okay,
there's literally a dude who's creepy as fuck living under the same roof. Like,
they think that I think that. I just want to make that very, very, very fucking clear. And it's terrible that when these things happen, people feel like they can't say anything about it. No one should feel like they have to be quiet about sexual misconduct against them. So, and I know it's in sub mode. I really wanted people to be able to ask questions and say their opinion, but for today, I think there's just too many people that
they were best friends,
want
really?
To steer things off track that I had to put it in sub mode, but you guys don't have to spam emotes. You know, if you have questions or things you want to say, feel free to say it. I'm not trying to silence anyone's opinion or anything like that.
What?
So,
how do you stay with your boyfriend if you know he covered up a woman's sexual assault? What the fuck are you talking about?
I mean, obviously, I'm sure everyone here knows, but what? For people who maybe don't, yes, Slick was my roommate, and I've been living with him for about 10 months now. And I honestly considered him one of my good friends.
27-month subscriber. Are you all right?
And, when the original situation happened, it was before I'd moved in, right? But I did hear about it when it first came out, and when I first heard about it, my initial thought was, like, that shit is horrible, like, I can't associate with that, but what changed my mind was, like, the stuff that was said back then. The original conversation. Yes, sorry, I'm having a hard time talking about this. This is a lot less
and Maya are no longer together
cohesive than I hoped that it would be. But for the duration of my friendship with him, that his greatest fear was being canceled. And I would always say to him, like, you fucked up back then. You shouldn't have done that, but you know, you say, like, she said it was okay. And we both know that you're a respectful person who wouldn't say things like that to girls. And he'd always say to me, yeah, you're right. I wouldn't do that. So I just feel completely lied to. And, like, the person that I knew never existed after seeing those screenshots. Especially considering that I myself am obviously a girl and would talk to him about things that have happened to me. And he would let me say stuff like that to him. Meanwhile, be sending things like that to other girls. Like, I just don't know if I've ever felt so betrayed in my life by a friend.
I think it's weird that people like think that she is culpable here. Like people don't have the capacity to comprehend that like they might not have fucking known at all. Like people involved, like people that knew him, that considered him friends. Everyone always goes on to be like, oh, they're every single person.
Screenshots come out. It just felt like the person that I thought that I lived with never existed.
The screenshots were like him being creepy as fuck to other girls, like just like writing weird shit to them.
That he did that
asking
shit
them for
to
fucking nudes,
Adriana, and that those logs existed in the first place. But what makes it so much worse to me is that he got what, in my opinion, was an undeserved second chance, and he just continued acting the same way. Even just like a week ago during his subathon. He just didn't.
Talking about slick.
Care and didn't try. He didn't even deserve that chance.
Emiru is a part of OTK, lives in the same house alongside Miskiff and Slick.
He kept doing what he was doing.
You honestly believe that Slick never confided any information to whoever regarded the sexual assault, so she isn't guilty, but give me a break if you think she's completely blindsided? I don't know. I don't know their dynamics. I didn't even know she lived there, man. Why are you fucking asking me about this shit?
It just sucks. Like,
you guys, a lot of people don't understand. I can only judge by exactly what I'm seeing on screen in the same exact capacity that you are.
Shit happen to other people, especially coming from someone that I was in close proximity with. Like, I mean, you guys know that I moved here to get away from a predator, and I ended up living with one, unbeknownst to me, for 10 months.
Also, a lot of people forget that like streamers literally, even when they're living under the same fucking roof, unironically are just streaming the entire goddamn time. I mean, I don't know what their hours look like.
Looking back now, there's a lot of stuff that...
And I can't comprehend a world in which like
sense.
You wouldn't know anything whatsoever. Like it might be that you think, oh, well, they're just kind of weird, or, oh, they got a second chance or some shit like that. But ultimately, like, she's relatively new in Austin too. You know what I mean?
It just sucks. Like, I don't know what else to say, but I mean, I'm glad that he's gone, and I'm glad that, you know, Adriana got to talk about this. I'm glad those other girls got to talk about this. I'm glad that we know the full story now. But yeah, it just hurts. Like, I hope it doesn't seem like I'm trying to make this thing about me, because I'm not. I'm just trying to speak to my chat and explain.
I think a lot of people forget the Fedmeister shit.
I'm sure a lot of you were wondering.
Like, a lot of people forget the Fedmeister shit, which was, like, unironically a similar parallel, right? And the way that it was dealt with when it came out, okay? Where so many people felt uncomfortable, and it was, like, identical, like, the sleeping stuff. But for the longest fucking time, when that happened under the OTV roof, not OTK, OTV's roof, like, people just didn't want to. People who were literally victims themselves were like uncomfortable, but also were thinking internally like, well, this can't be it. Like, this can't be happening. People just think, all of these interpersonal issues that range everywhere from like creeping, grooming, predation, straight up sexual assault, literally fucking are so clear cut, black and white. And not like insanely traumatic, abusive situations where the victims themselves have complicated feelings on it, let alone bystanders. You know what I mean? Oftentimes, these things are so powerful. These emotions are so powerful. The trauma causes you to literally fucking push it down and not even think about it.
Off my chest, but it's not even, it's kind of just something that I mean, I pretty much realized that the first day that this all started, but as more and more stuff came out, it was just like, I do want to say though,
Like, think about it this way: even victims sometimes have a hard time coming
I've
out
never
in
felt
circumstances like this out of
unsafe
social
leaving this
pressures.
house, and you guys know that. Simply, Russell, Ms., they've never done anything that ever made me feel uncomfortable or like they didn't respect my boundaries or anything like that, because a lot of people have been asking that, so I just wanted to say that.
Pedron was way worse than manipulating his own friends 24/7. Yeah, no, I know, but like there are parallels to be drawn.
And
I think what Miskiff should have done was immediately, regardless of what Adriana said at the time or did at the time,
that have been
was just fucking cut ties.
expecting me or pressuring me.
Just straight up.
Leave.
It would have also avoided further predation as well.
OTK,
I'm saying predation
everything.
a lot because Twitch, that Bloomberg
And
article.
As of right now, I'm not leaving. It's not a coincidence that when I was dealing with my own shit that they were there for me and propped me up, and I know firsthand more than anyone that they take my well-being very seriously.
Only people who don't have touch grass think it's easy to ditch a close friend like that if it's nothing.
Not just me, but all of the girls around here and in this sphere and that work for them. They've, as an org, they've always been very supportive of me, and the way that they've been handling this, I know you guys don't know everything that's happening and there's a lot of speculation, but the way that they've been handling this is super reassuring to me, and it makes me feel very safe. They prioritize my well-being, and that's why I'm here.
I think people do legitimately think that like a lot of people in front of a camera are just like animals, you know what I mean? Or not even zoo animals, but like straight up not real no matter what happens. This is a person who herself is like escaped and now I think someone in the chat said institutionalized stalker. I don't know anything about Emiru, and even I knew that she had a fucking stalker. Like a really aggressive one. As most female Twitch streamers have. A sea of hopefully soon to be institutionalized stalkers.
Oh my god.
And she's also lived in that house not for that long.
Like I said when I started the stream, it's kind of just all coming out now because I've just been holding it in. Yeah.
Not even a streamer? Yeah, yeah, not even a streamer. I mean, normie, like regular women have that shit too, for sure. So then think about that. Then a person that you're so close to, a person that you think you're like close friends with, all of a sudden comes out is like this fucking gigantic creep lord who has sexually assaulted people, who has creeped the fuck out of everyone in the space. And like
I want to talk about.
People are not even talking about it as out of fear of social pressure in some instances, certainly.
Preparing myself, I guess.
It's got to be fucking traumatic for the individual, you know what I mean?
Obviously, it doesn't involve me at all, besides me living here and being in close proximity with people involved, but it's been a lot. And like I said, I hope it doesn't come across like I'm trying to make it about myself or something. I'm just trying to speak what to me is the truth, and share what's been going on in a way that only I can.
No, you're just a cynical person. When you say this is damage control at best, I feel like it's faking good PR for the house, and she had a stalker and is the best person to do this. I mean, I'm serious. Like, I think you're just a very cynical person, and that's the reason why you think that. A lot of people in Twitch chat are also hyper sheltered, or themselves are like victims of abuse and have a litany of mental health complications. So that's why when you hear people fucking drop insane shit in the chat, like, don't take it super seriously.
It's just a lot.
You're naive, Hassan. My biggest problem in many of these circumstances is that I lead with empathy first. But that is precisely what I want you to do in every circumstance as well. Maybe it's one of the biggest weaknesses that I have, but I do have a naivete, I guess. But in this circumstance, I think I'm right.